Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I propose you something different. Me and Gerald are going to face each other in a game of Lion Rampant 2nd edition. It is a real good game, an alternative to Saga or other medieval game. Really interesting, fast, easy to learn and very fun. Today my Byzantine faced the Crusade of Jerome the Lion, which are kindly ruled by Gerald. The system is simple. You have to activate your unit, passing a test on their activation value, and then they can move, shoot, or charge and attack. The mission of today, for who know the game, is Sausage with Mustard. This village here, this small farm in the center, must be set on fire by the Crusader, which want to destroy the bars, the houses and the cauldron. The defender, Byzantine, left one unit of 4 points of modus, one unit of archer in this case, to protect, while the reserves will rush to bring help to the defender. In this case we have 3 heavy cavalry, 2 with melee weapon and 1 with bow and melee weapon, 1 light infantry and 1 unit of skirmisher. And I will make a video about the rules later on, but for the veteran they know what they are saying, what they are seeing. And here we have the Crusader, 1 elite cavalry with the Lord inside, another heavy cavalry, 2 units of heavy infantry and 1 unit of archers, and that's it for the Crusader. The game will last until all 4 the objectives are set on fire or the attacker has lost half of their points value, 24 in this case, so 12 points lost in the game. They call off the attack and the game is over. To determine the winner, each destroyed objectives grant 2 victory points to the attacker, or 2 victory points if it's not set on fire at the end of the game for the defender. And now moving to see who will take. No, because the attacker is the Crusader, so he has the first turn. Who doesn't know the rules, you have to activate on a determined value each unit, and when you fail one of this activation, the turn is over. Your Lord grant 1 reroll for 1 activation within 12 inches, and he grants +1 morale within 12 inches. The same is for the defender. Then I roll 2 trait of the warlord. Indeed, for the Byzantine lord I spare 1 point, so I bought for him strong bow. He can make 1 free activation to a unit that is going to shoot without rolling, so its unit or the skirmisher if they are activated to shoot, or the archer if ever he reach its range of activation. And for the Crusader Lord Jerome the Lion, I roll Brave Art. That means that he is hit only on a 6 on the duel. The duel happens when the 2 lords start their turn 12 inches apart, and 1 challenge is issued. So moving to the first activation and first turn for the Crusade, we try to raise this Byzantine farm, this territory, during their movement towards the across the territory of Constantinople. First movement, the first turn for the Crusader is over. I made a mistake. Both the infantry are light infantry, not heavy infantry. No reroll is needed. Everyone is moving on. They must end their movement 3 inches away from each other. So that's it for the Crusader turn, which take a caution movement. And now we pass to the Byzantine. All the Byzantine activations successfully entered, and now the last one is the archer, which are barely in range of this cavalry. The archers have a range of 18 inches, but any target more than 12 inches away grant a -1 to be hit. Now see if they activate. They activate to shoot on a 6+, and they activate. Now, if a unit is at full strength, they roll 12 dice. If the unit is half strength or below, they roll 6 dice. Very simple. Every unit works in the same way. For any I roll, any hit is counter against the armor. Armor of heavy cavalry is 3, so for every 3 hits, the cavalry take a wound. Anywhere, any time a unit to take 1 wound, they must test. So proceeding, you need 12 inches. You always need at best 12 inches. See how many hits. They hit on a 5+. So 1, so 2. They hit on a 6+. Because the -1, so just 2 hits, so no casualty is taken by the Crusade, and this take an end to the Byzantine turn, moving to the turn of the Crusader. Against, and strange for this, no failure in the activation. The Crusade move steady forward towards the village, and now the heavy cavalry is in range to charge next turn the archer. And if this happens, the archer will be in serious trouble. The rest of the Crusade force is still far away from their target. The real target is to set on fire the village, but without any defense, the village will be a quick prey for the attacker. And the Byzantine now have to close out the distance as soon as possible, moving in their turn and back to the shooting phase of the archers. The first activation was for the mounted archers, which fail. Thankfully, the Lord is with them, and they succeeded moving 10 inches forward, and now they are within 12 inches from the archers. So I decide to use its ability to activate a unit to shoot for free without rolling, because I really don't want to make a failure activation on the most important role at the moment. They shoot at the cavalry, which now is in close range, so no penalty for them. They hit on a 5+. Any hit is only 3 hit is a cavalry dead. 1, 2, 3. A real poor hit for the archers, just 1 cavalry dead. 1 the heavy cavalry is taken out, and now they have to take a test. The morale is simple. You roll 2 dice, subtract the casualty, and must equal or pass their courage valor, which is 3 for the 7 -1 6. The courage is 3, so the test is pass. If they fail the test, they will withdraw from the table. When you get a test that is the result is 0 or less than 0, the unit is destroyed. I'll move with the rest of the turn and back at the end of it. All the Byzantine cavalry managed to close the distance from the village, but the light infantry down there failed to activate, and because it's the second failure, I've just used the roll, and anyway they are too far from their lord. The turn for the Byzantine it's over, and now it's the turn for the Crusade, which start with the heavy cavalry charging into the archers. 5+, they manage to charge in, so they move into the archers, and now we are rolling to see the outcome of the melee. The cavalry is full unit size. Until you reach the half of the unit you still roll 12 dice, so they hitting on a 4+, and the poor archer have a armor of 2, if I'm correct. Let me double check. Yes, archer have a 2 of armor, so it's 1 casualty, 2 casualty, 3 casualty on the archers, which strike back, but they hit only on a 6. They are not particularly good in melee, and they made 1 and a single 1, so a lot of 5. If I roll in this way during the shooting will be a different outcome. So no casualty is taken by the cavalry, and 3 casualty is taken by the archer, which now have 2 roll for morale. It's a 8 minus 3, it's a 5. The morale for the archers is 4, so they are pass, but they lose more models, so they have to make a retreat. They must end 3 inches away, because they move 6. A retreat movement is half of their movement. They move 3 inches away from the enemy, and that's it for the first charge. Now the rest of the Crusader movement. It was a very quick turn, because I roll a 3 for the first activation of that unit down there, which is far from 12, so the turn is over, and now it's the Byzantine turn. And the first activation is the free shooting activation. Again they hit on a 5, no need to roll thanks to the Lord's trait. The type is better, a 5, a 6, a 5, no, it's not better at all, it's the same as before, but another casualty for the heavy cavalry in front of the archer, and a valor test, and a 4 minus 2 is a 2, their courage is 3, so they break. They make a full retreat, and they are battered. This means that the first thing they have to do the next turn is to activate to rally. They move 10 so 5 inches back, facing that direction, and they are fleeing from the terrible Byzantine archer and their composite bow. No, they are not composite, but look like a composite bow. And now the rest of the Byzantine turn. The 2 cavalry and the personal escort of the Lord reach the closing of the village, the farm, and so the situation now for the Crusade is changed completely, because 1 turn of failing activation left them far behind their objective, and now the defenders are scum. The infantry move quickly this time, and the final activation of the skirmisher down there behind the wood failed, so they remain outside the battle at the moment. But the main defense, the 2 units of heavy cavalry cataphracti and 1 unit of bow archer, heavy bow archer, has arrived. Now it's the beginning of the turn for the Crusader, which at first must rally this. 5 minus 2 is a 5, so they rally, but they cannot take other activation this turn. And now the rest of the unit. This time the orders are followed exactly as the Lord ordered, and so everything advance. Plus this unit is rallied now. The forces are quite equal on the field because a Navy elite cavalry is a foe which the defender will recognize and face with real caution. In my experience, the best way to face this is to charge him, because if they charge, they are really strong opponent, and probably the outcome of the melee it will be in their favor. But now start with the Byzantine turn, and again the free activation is for the archers, with take the chance against the heavy cavalry. What enemy at the time on a 5 up? 1, 2, 3. This is corked. 1, 2, 3. 4, 1. Another casualty. Another cavalryman take out, horseman, and their courage test. 4 minus 3 is a 4. They stay where they are. This unit is moved just outside the charging distance of the elite cavalry. The other one is both in range from the light infantry and the archers, and the rest move forward. Finally the skirmisher move on, and the infantry is running from their position to the farm, which they are called to defend. Now, first activation for the Crusader will be the activation for the archers to shoot on a 6. Excellent. Now they shoot at my heavy cavalry. They hit on a 5 like my archers. 1, 2, 3. 1 casualty is taken because they have armor 3, so 1 cataphracti is gone. And now a courage test. Yes, it's a 4, barely pass. The heavy cavalry will charge straightforward into the archers, and they succeed in this. They are reduced to half unit, so they roll just 6 dice, hitting on a 4. They hit twice, so they kill 1 archer. The archers strike back, again hitting only on a 6 plus, which is 1, which is 2, which is 3. They managed to kill a horseman. So the combat is a draw. This unit here must move fall back, and both have to take the test. Both have +1 for their lord. Easily pass with an 8 for the Byzantine, and easily pass with an 11 for the Crusade. Then the rest of the activation will just move forward, and maybe the Lord will try to engage a barn. They succeed and move here, try to set fire on this objective next turn. They will try to hold against the charge, inevitable charge of this unit here, then the rest of the activation. Infantry, the light infantry will try to charge the heavy cavalry, but they fail because they are coward compared to the other units, so they charge on a 6 and they fail, and that's it for the Crusader turn. Now starting with the Byzantine, and again the archers will shoot, and they will shoot in front of them for free. They are still over the 50%, so again 12 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, essentially 3, because the exceeded if not reach the armor value are discarded. So another heavy rider is down, and they take a courage test. 11 minus 5 is a 6, so it passes. And the mounted horse will try to shoot at this unit. They are within 12 inches, so they need a 6, and they get a 6, so 12 dice. They're hitting on a 5, but the heavy cavalry have an armor of 4, the elite cavalry. So just 1, 2, 3, 3. No, it's not enough to kill any of the heavy cavalry. And now I will proceed, try to charge with the cataphracti into the... Okay, they succeed. They have counter charge, so they can roll. If they pass, they count. They meet together at midway and count both in charge. And they pass, so it will be a dangerous outcome for my cavalry. I've started with mine attack. They hit on a 4 plus. It's a 1, it's a 2, it's a 3, it's a 4, it's a 5, it's a 6, it's a 7. Not enough to kill 2, just one of the elite cavalry is taken out of action. And now they will hit me on a 3 plus. They strike back on a 3 plus. 1 casualty, 2 casualty, 2 casualty. Could be worse than this, so my heavy cavalry has lost the day. I take this, but first I need to take a courage test for mine. A 9 is more than enough, and for them they practically cannot fail, but with a 7 they are okay. And I'm moving to the rest of the activation. No more other activation, because the light infantry fail both of their activation, the first and the reroll, thanks to the Lord. So we're moving to the Crusader turn. First of all, they need to test... No, I've just forgotten the previous turn, but now I cannot forget again the duel between the two lords. I have to roll 3 dice for each lord. Who score the most hit kill the other lord and win the duel. If both pay, if the outcome is a draw, both the lord return to their unit, and no one is more involved in other challenge. But with the Crusader Braveheart, he's hit only on a 6 plus. So this could be the end of Alexander. It is... yes, because he hits twice where the Byzantine Lord miss everything. So the Byzantine Lord is slain. Lord Jerome come back, and each unit must take a test because they lost their leader. With a 6 it's pass, with a 5 is pass, the archer with a 7 is pass, the other heavy cavalry is pass, the light infantry is also pass, and finally the skirmisher 4 could be a failure. Let me double check in a sec. No, the skirmisher... yes, it's a failure. They have a courage of 5, so they fall back in retreat and they are battered. So they hardly enter in the wood and now they are fleeing, but now they have to test for the impetus charge, which it failed, so they cannot be forced to charge, but they can move later on in the turn. Now, starting with the archers, they activate the shoot and shoot at the Byzantine heavy cavalry, and they hit just twice. It's corked. Yes, one casualty. So one cataphracti is taken out, and a courage test. 4 minus E, yes, barely pass. Okay. Now the other activation. The light infantry will try to no, they fail. This one is failed, and I'm not sure it is within 12 inches. Yes, it is, so they can re-roll it. It's a 6. Okay, they move towards the barn and try to later the next turn will try to set on fire. This one managed to activate and move here. The heavy cavalry cannot end within 3 inches of an enemy, so they stay where they are. I try to activate the light infantry, then they have to charge the heavy cavalry, and they successfully made, so the light infantry will charge the heavy Byzantine cavalry. Light infantry is most suited for defense rather than attack, but they want to put some casualty, and they hope to do this. They hit on a 5+, and they hit 1, 2, 3, so they put one casualty. There are two more hits, but not enough to compare the armor save. Heavy cavalry in defense hit on a 5+, so we'll see 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hits, and okay, it's 3 hits. So the heavy cavalry managed to successfully win this melee by they take 1 more casualty, and there's reduced to half of their starting number. So both need to courage test, and with the 3 casualty, less than 3 is 0. The heavy cavalry is completely destroyed, and at this time the light infantry, which has taken 3 casualty, can easily and happily roll, and they fail, so they run but are not destroyed because they taken 3 casualty. -3 is a 1. They are battered and flee, but they are not destroyed. It was a huge blow for the Byzantine. One of his heavy cavalry is completely gone. No unit destroyed for the Crusader at the moment, and the situation looks grim with 2 units that are going to set on fire some objective, and no charge at the moment. Set aside this one into them, but is not the best case scenario as you've seen before. The Lord is gone, so the archers need to activate with their dice. So they try to shoot at the last heavy cavalry on a 6. They manage easily, but I rolled the wrong dice. Anyway, 12s hitting on a 5. 1, 2, 3, it's enough. The unit is destroyed. The last rider is destroyed, and now the heavy cavalry with bow will try to move, and with a 5 they succeed in moving, and they move this way. Now try to put, no, it's a failure. No lord on the table. The Byzantine had its turn, and now it's the Crusader turn. First of all, they try to rally the light infantry, and they fail, and the unit is destroyed. because with a double 1 and 2 casualty they reach the 0 result, so the unit is completely routed, and this bring the Byzantine at 1 unit to the victory, no, to the end of the game, because when the Crusader will lost 4 points, the game will be over, and then we start to count the points. Anyway, moving to the rest, the white charge, which is failed, so this unit can move later on. They try to set on fire the barn, and to set on fire the barn for the mission they need to roll a 8 or more, and with a 9 they set on fire the barn and take the first points of the game. Now the archers are barely in range, they will try to shoot, they succeed in shooting, they hit only on a 6, so is just 1 hit, so no casualty on the heavy cavalry with bow. And then the Lord, the last activation on a 7, is failed but can reroll. It's failed, so the turn is over. The god is not with the Byzantine today. The skirmisher down there rally, and then the archer failed to activate, so it's another Crusade turn without any casualty or any hit taken by the defender. And first of all, they pass the white charge, so they're forced to charge. The heavy cavalry in front of them will try on a 7 to countercharge, and they countercharge, so they meet in the middle, and the two cavalry clash together and try to fight. So 12 dice hitting on a 3, 1, 2 casualties taken by the Byzantine, which strike back. They're hitting on a 4, 1 casualty, and that's it, because the other is not enough. So 1 casualty from the elite and 2 from the Byzantine, which have to take a courage test. 5 minus 4 is a 1. They are battered and they fall back, and they taken 1 casualty. 3, it's a failure, and even a 4, it's a failure, because they have taken 2 casualty, so both of them are battered and take a retreat. The Crusader charged successfully the barn, and the fire from this archer, even hitting on a 6, put 1 casualty, and the result is a failure of their courage, and they break and are battered down. So the Byzantine turn start with a rally of this one. Is for a 6 minus 4 is a 2, so they lose 1 model and still run away 5 more inches. The mounted archer, they pass, so they rally. At the moment they rally. Then the archer tries to shoot, they shoot, and they obviously try to force a test on the light infantry in front. They're hitting on a 5, it's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4 casualty, a very good roll. 4 casualty into the light infantry in front of them, and a courage test for them, which easily passed. So this barn here is in danger, and the light infantry try to close up. They succeed, and even the skirmishers succeed in moving. Crusader turn try to rally, easily pass. They are rally, cannot do anything for this turn, but they are back into fight. They try to set on fire, and with the 8 this one is set on fire, and the archer try to move, and they manage to move 6 inches forward, so it's about here. And the Byzantine start their turn shooting. They pass, and they try to put all their arrows into the elite cavalry. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is cock. 6, 7. Just for one is. They do not take 2 casualty, but just 1 is taken. So immediately a courage test for them, which easily passed. But they are reduced to half of their starting string number. And then the light infantry here will try to move forward, and they do. They will put them here, protecting this cauldron. And now the mounted bow failed to activate, and the Byzantine and its turn. Now the Crusader could be the last turn. This one, wide charge. They pass and force it to charge the light infantry. The regular light infantry, oh sorry, I made their activation and they failed, but I have to make their attack first. 6 attack hitting on a 3, which mean 1 and 2 casualty into the light infantry. And light infantry strike back. They are better on defense, so they hit on a 4, which are 1, 2, 3. Again, for one single hit they fail to kill a second knight, but one is slain. They lose the melee and are forced back 4 inches, removing the 2 casualty. Both are taking a courage test. This one is pass with a 8, and them 4 minus 4 is a 4. The courage is 3, so they are pass. Now moving into the Byzantine turn, because they failed to activate. Again, the archers managed successfully to activate, and they are shooting into the elite cavalry. 1, 2, just to hit this time, so no casualty is put into the elite knight and their lord. Now, oh, I tried to rally this guy. 4, no, it's gone. It's destroyed. We'll try to activate the mounted bow, which successfully activate and move here in position to charge both the light infantry and the eventually the archers if they survive. And then the light infantry will try to take the day. They manage to charge with a 6. It's just enough to charge the elite cavalry. 6 attack on a 3. Ooh, 2 casualty is inflicted to the Byzantine infantrymen, 1 and 2, but they still outnumber the heavy cavalry, they hit only on a 5. So 1, so 2, 3, 4, yes. They kill the last one, only the Lord remain. Okay, I've rolled now for the counter charge to hit on a 3. And they succeed, so they really hit on a 3. So they lose the melee and are forced back by 4 inches. But this one is need to take a test and easily pass it, and they need a test which 6 or 11, so they pass. The last activation will be the skirmisher, which try to skirmish 4 and 4, it's 8, yes. Skirmish made 1 half distance movement and then shoot. They will move 4 inches in this way and can shoot, and they shoot to the Crusader Lord. They hit only on a 6, but it's a possibility. Definitely no, because just well, they hit twice, but it's not enough. Okay, and this ended the turn of the Byzantine. Crusader, wild charge. It made a wild charge and charged the light infantry here. So he made a 6 attack, hitting on a 3. He killed 1 because it's 3 times on 6. So 1 more infantryman is slain, and they are still more than 6, so they roll 12 dice, hitting on a 4 because they are in defense. It's a 1, it's a 2, it's a 3, it's a 4, and he is dead. He is dead. The Crusader must take immediately the Lord dead. They fail, they routed, and they stay, but the game is over because the Crusader lost more than 12 points, and point-wise they get 2 destroyed burn for 4 big glory point, and the Byzantine save half of the objective for 4 glorious victory point. So in the end, after this slaughter, it is a draw between the Crusader and the Byzantine. They save the farm and the cauldron with the soup, but they lost all their barn. That's it for the first Batrep. I recognize that I made some mistake today that I tried to recover. It's my first film of the Batrep, so be patient with me. I hope that you enjoy this new game because it's a very, very fun game. Thank you for watching, and see you soon with other historical video. Bye bye.